Okay, we are back with the second episode this week of the Ball Guy and the Fat Boy. I'm
I
the
like the
Ball
Mavericks.
Guy,
We're going back to back.
back to back, like the Mavericks, the Fat Boy says. All right, well, jump into it. You got your Mavericks hat on. Tell
I
us
got
what.
my Mavericks hat on. The Mavericks played the Golden State Warriors tonight. They looked real good. There was no triple double for Luka Doncic. Um, Gafford got one of Wilt Chamberlain's record. He is now sitting second behind the other Wilt Chamberlain record at 33, 35 being the other record that Chamberlain has. And they play in Oklahoma City tomorrow night on TNT. So maybe Gafford will finish up, hopefully, if he gets it, Wilt Chamberlain's record tomorrow night. But there's no guarantee. He still got to make shots. So we'll see how that goes. I thought, and I told you this off the air, since Dallas made the trade at the trade deadline for Washington, for Gafford, and I mean I don't know. I thought there might be somebody else that I'm going blank on, and getting rid of that other boy. Addition by subtraction. The Mavericks defense across the board has raised everybody up. I don't know if it was just contagious. I don't know what it is. But since then we've added those guys, the rest of our guys are playing. Luka's playing a lot better defense. So all that being said, the Mavericks took care of the Warriors. The Warriors were kind of close to us in the standings, and we beat them in a 2-game series this year. So we'll have the tiebreaker over them if we have any issues. So we should be in good shape with all that.
So what's more exciting, the fact that they've been winning some games and playing good defense, or your boy's chase of the Wilt Chamberlain record?
Why do I got to pick? They're both exciting.
Well, one's more than the other. Come on.
Well, it might be, but I'm not going to pick. You pick. I don't need to pick. I like both of them. I'm happy.
You like both of them?
And what else I'm happy about is all these Maverick games being on regular television. I'm actually getting to watch basketball.
I can't. I mean, I don't know how Bally's is letting that happen.
Well, I don't care how they're letting it happen, but I sure am happy with it.
Yeah, is Bally still around? Are they still doing their thing?
No, they ain't around me. They ain't been around me in 5 years. How would I know if they're still around?
I don't know. Baseball season's going to be interesting.
Not for me. I got a new toy for baseball season.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's your new toy?
Alexa, say hi.
Hi.
Okay, so Alexa will go find you baseball or what?
Yeah, Alexa, turn 105.3 the fan on.
105.3 the fan from Odyssey.
Points, which is quite below their.
That's where your baseball games are.
But
hey, Alexa, turn it off.
I did.
Okay, I was telling Alexa. I didn't say Fat Boy turn it off. I was talking to Alexa.
I was just proving my point. I can listen. I have an Alexa now, and I can listen to 105.3 the fan right there on Alexa, so I can hear every one of my baseball games.
Okay.
See, I thought that was a nice little demonstration I did there.
It is. I'm glad to see you joining this century with your.
Well, thank you.
Your home electronics.
Well, yeah.
Before we know it, you're going to be tying Alexa into the bidet.
Into the bidet. We had to get a bidet mentioned in today, didn't we? Okay, so we've kind of talked through Mavericks, and we've talked to the Alexa. Turn off. Nothing. Disregard, Alexa. She don't like it when you say.
Maybe you're getting electronics figured out. Hold on.
Yeah. So the next thing we need to talk about, the Mavericks kind of made a little move and kind of snuck in under San Francisco today a little bit. You want to tell the people?
Oh, the Mavericks did not, sir.
The Cowboys. I'm sorry. I'm a human. I make a mistake every now and then. Go ahead, Charlie.
No, okay. Anyway, the Cowboys stepped up a little bit, and they got Eric Kendricks. Had earlier in the day on Wednesday had decided he was going to sign a 1-year deal with the 49ers, and the Cowboys, being as though he used to play for Mike Zimmer, I'm sure Mike Zimmer kind of had Jerry Jones's ear and Will McClay's ear. And anyway, they went and they talked to him, got in touch with his agent, whatever they did, and they made him rescind his accepting of the 49ers offer. and decided to come play linebacker for Dallas. So I think that's a pretty big get. That gives Zimmer somebody to be kind of the quarterback of his defense, already knows his schemes and his systems. So
Somebody to hopefully help Overshown.
we finally did something. Well,
Yeah.
we did sign a long snapper.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, that's like opening a can of paint.
But I think the biggest thing that's happened this year after the season has been Jerry Jones saying we're going to be all in.
Well, and I told you yesterday, in that show that will go unmentioned because of your because you don't like it. They to me the way they explained all in was taking care of our main three players, according to you, not to me. So if that's now with Kendricks and what we have coming back, we still haven't. I guess we'll dress running back in the draft along with guard and center, and we'll see if all that works out.
Well, the biggest thing I would say that Jerry managed to do with that is I don't think, as of yesterday, anybody could have been talking about the Cowboys more if we would have signed Patrick Mahomes. Because the whole thing so far in free agency is the Cowboys are supposed to be all in. He said they were going to be all in. They're not doing nothing. And everybody was talking about how little they'd done. So Jerry Jones got what he wanted. Everybody's talking about the Cowboys, and he didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, well, that's not a that may not, that might be good for Jerry. It ain't good for the rest of us out here.
Well, I mean, but that's good for the team. As long as they're talking about the team, that's what he's worried about. And he got that done and didn't even have to sign a free agent.
But for all that to work the way you want it to work, I mean, and for you to be happy, they have to restructure Dak and re-sign Dak.
Well, for it to work on them, all they have to do is sell hope. As long as we go into the year thinking, man, this is our year, they're good.
But I'm right about what I'm saying, right?
Yes, to open up enough cap space to be able to do anything significant during free agency, they have got to go ahead and re-sign Dak.
And that makes you happy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why it's so hard for you just to say yes, you're right one time. I mean, I said it exactly that way, and you had to go all the way around the block to say something else.
Well, I wasn't sure exactly what you were asking.
Okay, I'll clarify from now on.
Because you wanted to make sure it made me happy signing Dak because it didn't make you happy.
Correct.
Right.
But now I'm going to say something that might surprise you.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to lose CD, and I don't want to lose Michael.
Well, why would that surprise me?
Because here comes the surprising part.
Uh-huh.
If having to re-sign Dak causes us not to lose those two players, I'm happy that we're going to re-sign Dak.
Ooh, say it louder for the people in the back.
Happy we're going to re-sign Dak. But I had to. It's got a huge codicil on that. But if that's the only way we can get them done, so be it.
Well, and I think going ahead and signing them sooner rather than later is going to save them money.
I agree with that too.
Because the longer we made the mistake with Dak, where they franchised him, stretched it out, and we could have had him for $20 million a year instead of 40, and they didn't do it. So I hope they learned their lesson. The market's not going to go down for edge rusher and wide receiver next year. So
I'm raising my hand. I have a question.
Okay.
Has Tyron officially done anything yet?
Is who?
Tyron Smith.
No, he's still a free agent.
But he's not signed nowhere else. He's not retired. He's not signed here.
Right. I saw a list of the top 10 free agents left on the board, and he was number 2.
My question to you is there under what you know about the cap space, under what you know about the Romo deal? Do you think he's going to retire? Do you think he's going to re-sign with us, or do you think he's going to sign somewhere else? Was that clarification on that question good?
Yeah, that was good. I think he's going to sign somewhere else.
And I think he's either going to sign here or retire. So we're a little opposite on that.
I think somebody will pay him on the chance of getting a healthy Tyron Smith and having a top 5 left tackle
Well,
for when he's healthy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I do know what you're saying. Let's go over it both ways real quick. I mean, assuming we do him the same way we did him last year, and how would that help us in the draft if we did sign him? All
Depends
we
on
need,
depends on what it took to sign it.
well, I'm talking about all we need at that point is just center, right? As far as offensive line goes,
Yes.
because that would free us up to go for a linebacker, a D tackle, and a running back.
Correct. But
Just,
if you're
just food for
sitting back there going, hey, we know how much duct tape and bubble gum we had to put on him to get him through the season and make sure he made it healthy, and however many years that hasn't worked in the past.
it was just a scenario. I'm not writing it in stone. I
I
was
got
asking.
you. I wouldn't have a problem with him signing him. But I mean, his past 10 years tells you he's going to miss 3 to 6 games a year.
He didn't last year.
I know.
So I mean, you have no interest in trying to duplicate last year's. All I'm saying.
No, we lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Only as far as Tyron Smith goes.
You could try to duplicate it. I'm fine if they try to do it. His talent makes it worthwhile. Unless you have a plan for your offensive line that we don't know about, and they've identified somebody in the draft that's going to come in and make a big difference for them, whether that's at tackle or guard or center, to where they can move everybody around.
Let me ask you a question. Here's the question. If we can make the deal and go for center and keep him one more year to get that defensive tackle that we run stopping defensive tackle that we sorely need, would that in your mind be worth doing the Tyron deal for one more year?
As long as we could get Tyron and still have the money to do that.
Okay,
I kind of feel like, I don't know this, I kind of feel like Tyron he's looking for one or two things. He's either looking for one last big payday, which the Cowboys aren't going to give him,
no.
or he's looking for a Super Bowl, which the Cowboys may not give him that either. So
Okay.
I think those are the two things he may be looking at. The way to look at that is who's the left tackle for the 49ers now?
That's not. I mean, you're gonna.
Trent Williams. So
Yeah.
after Trent Williams was with the Redskins forever, they thought he was washed. He was done. He moved out to San Francisco, and I mean, he's been a dang good player for him.
Okay. I like them. I like the comparison. I like everything about it. So I just don't want to see Tyron go anywhere else. That's just my personal feeling. It
No,
is
I
what it is.
love Tyron. Yeah.
I want to see him. I want to see him try to run back the way we did last year, one more year. But if they don't do that, then so be it.
Right. But I mean, just keeping him around is just a band-aid. You've still got to start back investing in your offensive line.
I agree with that. We're going to do that at center in the draft, I believe. And then the next year, after we do defensive tackle this year, and next year, then we address somebody to replace. I would say the other Smith, to move that Smith out to where the Smith is now, and move that new person into where Smith is. Does that make all sense?
Yeah, but maybe Tyler Smith is good enough at guard that you just draft a tackle.
Whichever. I'm okay with either. I'm just throwing the scenario out there.
Right. I mean, most of the time it's easier to get a center or a guard at pick 32.
Okay. So anyhow, all right. So let's move on. Have you finished up with all that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe you blew right past that. That, they have pick 32 next year.
How do you know that already?
Because they're going to go win the Super Bowl.
Oh, I did miss it.
Come on.
I totally missed that right over my head. You're right. I dropped the ball on that.
So
you a round of applause for that little one.
There you go.
So, I was going to make mention about the PBR,
Okay.
which I don't know how much you care about that, but the PBR, I call it the Unleashed the Beast series. I don't call it that; it's what it's called. They're in Little Rock this week. It's not a major, so they'll go Saturday and Sunday. Castillo Diaz is leading in the points race with John Crember behind him. I personally, when it got into the PBR during COVID, I don't know how much you remember about how long we stayed cooped up for COVID, but there was not a lot of new live programming on TV. I got into PBR, and now they're doing PBR teams, and I love every bit of it. So I'm trying to give as much PBR pub as I can. The finals end up here in Texas. Teams start after the Unleashed the Beast series, so it's just real entertaining.
Where's the finals at in Texas? Is it at AT&T or where's it at?
I believe it's. I mean, I believe it's at Jerry World this next year. So, but don't quote me.
Okay. So
that's I said all that to say, watch PBR this weekend. They're in Little Rock.
Okay. Now, do you want to talk about one of the other biggest things happening in sports?
You talking about the UFL again?
No, I said biggest things happening in sports.
Go ahead. You tell me.
Serious. This isn't any pretend stuff, okay? This is serious.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are supposed to fight.
Wow. Excuse me. I don't want any of the listeners to see me puke on my podcast.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to talk about that in any manner. The only Paul I want to talk about is on the WWE.
So,
the United Champion, the other Paul brother.
Oh, Logan. Is it Logan?
Yeah, Logan Paul. He's the United States champion for the WWE. So I'll talk about that, but I don't want to talk about Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. No, I'm good. If you didn't, and I can sit here and listen.
Well, I mean, I was just getting your opinion on how you felt about.
I think I've given you my opinion.
Jake Paul fighting a 60-year-old Mike Tyson.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Anyway, Dana White kind of summed it up. He's like, that's crazy. There's no.
I'm more interested. Do you know this? Speaking of PBR, I'm gonna go back to PBR for a second.
Okay.
Do you know who Cowboy Cerrone is?
I've heard of him. Yes, I don't.
Cerrone is a UFC fighter.
Yep.
Dana White has a bull. Has the bull in the PBR series.
Does he? What's it called?
Yeah. Twisted. I think it's Twisted Steel.
Original. Okay.
Twisted Steel is going. Cowboy Cerrone is not a bull rider.
Okay.
But a month ago, or maybe longer, Cowboy Cerrone popped off and said that he could go 8 seconds on Dana White's bull.
So when are they doing that exhibition?
They're going to do that at the World Finals too at Jerry World, I believe.
Okay, so is Cowboy Cerrone maybe not a professional bull rider, but at least a real life cowboy?
Well,
I've seen him wear a cowboy hat. So.
Yeah, he wears a cowboy hat. People, I mean, he's country, and I mean, we'll find out if he's a real life cowboy when he gets on a real life bull.
I mean, does somebody want to show that man 8 seconds before he jumps up there and does that?
I've seen it, and he's seen Twisted Steel go. And let me tell you, Twisted Steel ain't cotton candy, son. Twisted Steel's a bad bull. And these boys, huh?
Could you ride him?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just telling you, Cowboy Cerrone is going to attempt this. And do you know the last dummy that thought they was capable of doing this and tried to attempt to ride a bull? Do you remember this?
No.
Do you remember the Johnson? The football player that had the nickname that wore the fake Hall of Fame jacket. What was his played for the Bengals? What was his name?
Ocho Cinco?
Yeah, Ocho Cinco. Thank you. Ocho Single tried to ride a bull. He lasted all of about 2.5 seconds.
Really? He tried. I didn't remember him trying to ride a bull.
Yeah, he tried to ride a bull. Got a lot. Got one of the big PBR guys to practice him up. He made it all of about 2.5 seconds. So
Yeah.
I see. The only thing I see Cerrone doing is make it a little longer than Ocho Cinco.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure Cerrone. What's Cerrone's stats here? I
As
think
far
he's
as riding
built,
bulls,
I think he's built more like a bull rider.
as far as riding bulls, I don't think his stats are very good because I don't think he's never done it in public that I know of. But I'm just telling you,
Hold on,
I
no,
know.
I'm curious to see height and weight here.
You're talking about measurables, not
Yeah,
stats.
so okay, so he's 40 years old. He's about to be 41.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the thing. You don't heal as quick as you used to whenever
No.
you over
He
that
gets his
40 mark.
back broke by this bull.
Okay.
Take a while.
Now
It's gonna take a while for him to-
he's 6 foot, 170 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go look up Chad Ochocinco.
Well, you got to look back when he rode the bull. I don't know what he was when he rode the bull.
Okay. Well, but he's 46 now.
It was
But
several years ago when he rode the bull.
Let's see. Let me go.
Yeah, but he didn't last very long.
Well, I'm trying to see. Okay, so he's 6'1", 192. So they're pretty close,
Yeah.
stature wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think one of the like featherweights or something like that in UFC would have a better chance than Cerrone of staying on this bull. But
Well,
I could be wrong.
but if that gives you any more intrigue, you UFC fans out there, Cowboy Cerrone, this is an official deal. They're going to do this. Like you said, it's what's it called when
Exhibition.
exhibition. Thank you. They're going to do this exhibition at the World Finals.
And
The World Finals are in May.
at AT&T Stadium, right?
Yeah, Fury World is like what I like to refer to it as. Yes.
Okay. I mean, that might be worth going and seeing something.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Just something for the podcast. Just I don't know how we got off what we were talking about onto that. Whatever we were talking about reminded me of that. So I wanted to give that some pub as well.
Okay. All right, let's see where we at. I was trying to see what nope, he went 1.5 seconds.
I only missed it by a second. I gave him 2.5 and 1.5.
So isn't that like Tim McGraw's song Live Like You Were Dying? Isn't that what he did? Is it 2.5 or 1.5?
Went 2.5 on a bull named
Yeah.
Food Man.
Yeah. So I think it's 2.5. So Ocho only made it 1.5.
Yeah. I don't like Cerrone's chances. That's just my personal opinion. I've seen the bull quite a few times. He's bad. He's bad as a bone good, Charlie. I'm not even exaggerating how good the bull is.
Really?
So all I can say is Cerrone better be practicing a lot.
Let me ask you, what would it take to get you on a bull?
I did mutton busting and I did a mechanical bull at Waco, and they were both miserable. So it would take a whole lot.
Okay. Well,
and for all the people think out there that I hurt sheep, when I did mutton busting, I was not obese. I was not yet the fat boy.
Okay.
There was no sheep harmed in this.
In the making of your rodeo career.
Correct.
Okay.
Just want to put that out there before I get letters and emails and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, because I mean, we don't want letters coming in about you doing bad stuff to sheep or nothing like that.
Correct. Exactly.
Do not want it. Okay.
So after that, and all joking aside, I'm going to move on to UFL now.
Wow. It was going so good. We had almost done it. You'd only like brought it up a couple milliseconds here and there, and we were good. And then you're like,
because I know the game. I know the game. Me and a buddy are going. I have the game we're going to.
What game?
We're going to see. I sent him the screen grab. We're going to go in May. I think it's like May the 25th or something. We're going to go see It's on Saturday, May the 20 something in May. It's the Arlington Renegades there in Arlington versus the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Okay,
And
I'll go see the Battlehawks.
well, yeah, AJ McCarron, the former Alabama quarterback,
Here's the quarterback for the Battlehawks.
for the Battlehawks, and the defending champions are the Arlington Renegades. So therefore, me and a buddy are planning on going to see that.
That's good. You probably need to go see them this year if you want to see it.
No, I don't. You may think that I do, but I don't.
Okay.
Okay, so I've added that in as well.
So what do you think? Let me ask you, what do you think better odds are? Dak Prescott and the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, or the UFL lasting more than 5 years? What's going to happen? The Cowboys win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, or the UFL go out of business in the next 5 years?
The Cowboys win the Super Bowl, not necessarily with Dak Prescott.
So you think it's more likely that the Cowboys win the Super Bowl?
Yes, because I think this league's just going to get better and better.
Really?
Really,
Okay.
no joking, no pun intended, sir.
Okay. It's going to get better and better. I got you. I mean, I'll say this. I don't think it's got anywhere to go but up.
Well, that's like being the nicest guy in prison. So just keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, there you go. We got part 2 in. We had so much to talk about last night. We really wanted to come on here and talk
Wait
about
a minute.
breaking the
How much
record.
time do we have?
A few minutes.
We'll get. I've got to mention March Madness. The NCAA are in the tournaments right now. They are playing the individual tournaments to decide who's going to win either the SEC,
Conference
the Big 12,
Is that where you're at?
the Pac-10, the Big 12, and all of those. How they doing those, that'll determine the seeding for the. Is it 68 now, Charlie, or 64? Or do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's.
I thought it was 64 for a long time and it went to 68. So let's just say I'm right
I think
this
it's 68. Yeah. Yeah.
So so that's going to determine some seeding where some of the teams get seeded in which bracket, in which general area. So, and how many SEC teams make it, how many ACC teams make it, so forth and so on. So just be keeping up with the individual tournaments and get ready for March Madness because we're going to do a bracket show, and I'm looking much forward to that.
Okay.
Now you can roll tide. Now you can end the podcast.
And close it. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for listening. If you've stayed to the end, like, subscribe. We'd love to hear anything, any comments, critiques. If y'all want to jump in and help me tell the fat boy he's wrong on stuff, we appreciate all that. No problem. If y'all want to say I'm wrong, we'll let you comment. And, everybody's entitled to bad opinions.
There you go.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
Roll tide.